Swadee and welcome to Be My Guest, the program which brings you stories of organizations which are of great success in Thailand. I'm Sarosha Ratanapian. Orchid is one of the beauty in Thailand which is admired by international tourists and Thai people as well. Moreover, the export figure of orchid is significant and it undoubtedly helps boost Thai economy in both short, medium and long run. It's important to Thai economy thus inspire the occurrence and the setup of Asia Pacific Orchid Conference, which will start on March 2016. We will learn more about this event and conference in this episode of Be My Guest. Right now I'm with Khun Serm Suksalak, the Deputy Director General of the Department of the Agriculture. Swadee ka.
Swadee ka.
So first of all, could you introduce yourself to the fans and be my guest?
Okay, thank you very much for your question. I myself am a Deputy Director General of Department of Agriculture that do take care about the research and development of plants in Thailand, right? The Department of Agriculture is under Ministry of Agriculture and Cooperatives. Right.
Okay, so right now the job that you're doing is dealing with the research.
The research and development
Thailand.
in plants,
Okay.
right, and including farm machinery as well. Right?
I see. Okay.
Right.
Now talking about APOC.
APOC,
Yes.
right?
So could you tell us a little bit more of what APOC is?
Right. So you mean that the 12th APOC that is going to be held in Thailand in 2016? That's
Yes.
right. Right. Can I say that APOC that is this is abbreviation, but the meaning is Asia Pacific Orchid Conference, right? First of all, it was the first established in 1984. Right, and the first APOC or APOC was held in Japan, right? And I can say that the Professor Rapi Sakrit, he's it's like the father of the orchids in Thailand. He is one of the team of the to establish the APOC in Japan, right?
And for Asia Pacific Orchid Conference
right.
This year, it's going to be the 12th time.
Right.
Excuse me, it's not next. It's next year. It's
In
not
next
this
year,
year.
right.
Okay.
No, that's
So, what was the participation of Thailand or even Ajahn Rapi team, in organizing APOC then?
Right. As I mentioned that because the Professor Rapi Sakrit, he was in the team of the first inventor to APOC, and the first one that I mentioned that it was held in Japan in 1984, and then 8 years later, Thailand was the host of the fourth APOC in Chiang Mai, right, in the north of Thailand. Right.
Okay, so this will be the second time that Thailand will be the host of APOC then?
You mean that next year?
Yes.
Next year will be the second time because the first time that Thailand was the host is in 1992.
Okay, talking about APOC, so it's organized every year or?
No, every
how
3
often
years.
It is?
All right, every 3 years.
Every 3 years, and who is the host of APOC then?
I mean they're gonna erect. It seems like okay, the people, the country would like to be the host. Could be nominate themselves, right? And then it's gonna be was selected by the member, and who gonna be the host of the next conference.
Okay.
Right.
Now, what about the objectives of APOC?
Okay, I think the main objectives of the APOC is to firstly is about the conservation and the research and development of the orchids. So it means that when we're talking about the conservation, so it's meant because the Asia Pacific regions, that's the kind of diversification or diversity. I said that the diversity of the orchid germplasm, right? So we would like to the main objective is the kind of conservation of the germplasm of the orchids. And secondly, it's about the research and development of orchids in this region. So I mean that the Asia Pacific regions. Right?
Okay. So first of all, it's about conserving orchid varieties around in this region, Asia Pacific, and also the research and development of the orchids. Okay. Now talking about the participants, who are participants,
Okay, so I mean that the participants this come from the member the member countries. So it's about 11 to 12 countries altogether, and they come from the academic institutions and also the growers and also the private sector, such as all come from the association, the growers association, the exporter, importer, association, or something like that. Right.
So many people, many parties will join.
We're getting together in the conference.
Okay. So what can they do, or how can they take part in this event then?
So it's in the part of the researchers or from the academic institutions. They can because in the APOC we're going to have the conference. So it means that they can present their research project and results of their research, and then it's good for them to share the experience and knowledge and orchids research, orchid growing, orchid plantation, orchid industry, and so on about the orchids, and for the industry themselves or for the exporter and the entrepreneur, I think they can share their experience in industries and then their products.
Okay, so they benefit, and this event will benefit both
both and to private sector and also the researchers.
Okay, now talking about the importance of research, especially about orchid. So as you are expertise in this. So what is the importance of doing research in this field?
Okay, because if we do the research, let's say that firstly I mentioned that because the Asia Pacific is the main resource of the tropical orchids, right? So it means that you're going to have the diversity of the germplasm. So it means that if you have the diversity of the orchids, you can have different that we can match, and we can have the hybrid. Right, the hybrid orchid hybrids, and can you imagine that the yellow flowers and the blue flowers and come together, and the shapes and the figures, something like that. That's for the new varieties, and also for the growing or the cultivation of the orchids. Right, we can grow the orchid out of the field, in the greenhouse, in the grass house, or something like that. That's the kind of research that can make us to that. So the importance of the research can comes to the industry for that.
I see. Yeah. Okay, so it benefits a lot, and it stems from all of the researchers.
Right.
And APOC then will give the contribution to the society, to the industry.
Right.
Wow. Okay. What about the public then? So what can they do or view in this conference?
Right, because this is the open conference. So the one who are interested in the conference, the shows, and the orchids, can come to the APOC.
And is there any new varieties of orchid that you proudly present in APOC this time?
Right, but it's not a kind of new varieties, but I think that's the varieties that has that has remarkable in themselves, such as we have the yellow one that is originally from the east coast of Thailand, right? We call Jantaburi, but the former name we call Jantabun, so we call Leung Jantabun. So it means that the yellow dendrobium that's come from Jantaburi, that is from the east coast of Thailand, that called Frederick Cyanum. Right, it's nice name as well, and the other that's the yellow one, but the other that is a representative from the Vanda one we call a Vanda Sunside Brew. So the name is brew, so it means that they're gonna brew Vanda, right? And the last one that we're gonna to recommend that's a kind of orange. The orange orchids this is a representative of the Escocentrum that we call Escocentrum miniatum.
Okay, so there are different colors.
Sure, the three
orchids.
colors all together and they're very colorful.
Okay, so viewers can go to APOC or researchers can go there in order to take a look to appreciate. And exporters.
That's the only that I mentioned, but there are the varieties of the orchids in this
Okay, and we are going to view lots of varieties of orchids from Asia Pacific.
Asia Pacific, from the Asia Pacific regions, and not only from Thailand.
Okay, normally for the varieties of orchids that we have in Thailand, which variety that exporters or business people are normally use?
Right, because actually Thailand we export orchid cut flowers, so you know just little flowers, right? And dendrobium, that's a kind. You mean that the blue one, the purple one that we call the last time that we call pompadour, right? The violet one, the purple one, that dendrobium. That's we also export all kinds of orchid cut flowers, and also the pot plant in the pots, and also in a bottle, right? With just from tissue culture, and then we call the small one in the bottle. Right, because Thailand is a big industry of orchids.
Okay, so now talking about the role then of the Ministry of Agriculture and Cooperatives in supporting this event.
Right, because when we nominate ourselves that we would like to be the host of in 2016, and then when the Ministry of Agriculture they approved that okay, Thailand should be the host, so they assign the Department of Agriculture who do take care about the research and development in plants that I mentioned. So we are the main responsibility in organize the APOC 2016.
Okay.
They are, I'm sorry. They are, we also have the full support from the government as well.
Okay, so it's all the governmental support for this event and for others, international countries and also the public to view. Okay. But for now, it's time for a short break. We're right back and we talked about the industry, of orchid in the future and how it's the importance, of the orchids in Thailand right now. So please stay tuned on Be My Guest.